Hello everyone, welcome to Passion Reading channel. In this video I'm going to test my Lovense Toys function called button, and today I'm going to test the button called wave. And for you to better understand my feelings, I will read the book Lady Chatterley's Lover while testing my toy. So let's start. If you wanna see more content with me, just click the link for my fansly in the description of this video. The next day, she did not go to the boat. She went instead with Clifford to Arthwaite. He could occasionally go out now in the car and had got a strong young man as chauffeur, who could help him out of the car if need be. He particularly wanted to see his godfather, Leslie Winter, who lived at Shipley Hall, not far from Arthwaite. Winter was an elderly gentleman now, wealthy, one of the wealthy coal owners who had had their heyday in King Edward's time. King Edward had stayed more than once at Shipley for the shooting. It was a handsome old stucco hall, very elegant, appointed, for Winter was a bachelor and prided himself on his style. But the place was beset by colorists. Leslie Winter was attached to Clifford, but personally didn't entertain a great respect for him because of the photographs in illustrated papers and literature. The old man was a buck of the King Edward School, who thought life was life and scribbling fellows were something else. Towards Connie, the squire was always rather gallant. He thought her an attractive, demure maiden and rather wasted on Clifford. And it was 1,000 pities she stood no chance of bringing forth heir to Rugby. He himself had no hair. Connie wondered what he would say if he knew that Clifford's gamekeeper had been having intercourse with her, and saying to her, "The man came to the cottage one time." He would detest and despise her, for he had come almost to hate the showing forward of the working classes. A man of her own class he would not mind, for Connie was gifted from nature with this appearance of demure, submissive maidenliness, and perhaps it was part of her nature. Winter called her dear child and gave her a rather lovely miniature of an 18th century lady, rather against her will. But Connie was preoccupied with her affair with the keeper. After all, Mr. Winter, who was really a gentleman and a man of the world, treated her as a person and a discriminating individual. He didn't lump her together with all the rest of his female womanhood in his the and the. She didn't go to the wood that day, nor to next, nor the day following. She did not go so long as she felt, or imagined she felt, the man waiting for her, wanting her. But the fourth day she was terribly unsettled and uneasy. She still refused to go to the wood and opened her thighs once more to the man. She thought of all the things she might do, drive to Sheffield, pay visits, and the thought of all these things was repellent. At last she decided to take a walk not towards the wood but in the opposite direction. She would go to Mare Hay, a quiet grey day of spring, almost warm. She walked on, unheeding, absorbed in thoughts she was not even conscious of. She was not really aware of anything outside her till she was startled by the loud barking of the dog at Mayhay Farm. Mayhay Farm, its pastures ran up to Rugby Park fence, so they were neighbors, but it was some time since Connie had called. "Belle," she said to the big white bull terrier, "Belle, have you forgotten me? Don't you know me?" She was afraid of dogs, and Belle stood back and bellowed, and she wanted to pass through the farmyard onto the Warren path. Mrs. Flint appeared. She was a woman of Constance's own age. Had been a school teacher, but Connie suspected her of being rather a false little thing. "Why, it's Lady Chatterley!" "Why?" And Mrs. Flint's eyes glowed again, and she flushed like a young girl. "Belle, Belle, why? Barking at Lady Chatterley? Belle, be quiet!" She darted forward and slashed at the dog with the white cloth she held in her hand, then came forward to Connie. "She used to know me," said Connie, shaking hands. "The Flints were Chatterley's tenants. Of course she knows your ladyship." "She's just showing off," said Mrs. Flint, glowing and looking up with a sort of flushed confusion. "But it's so long since she has seen you. I do hope you are better." "Yes, thanks, I'm all right." "We have hardly seen you all winter. Will you come in and look at the baby?" "Well," Connie hesitated, "just for a minute." Mrs. Flint flew wildly in to tidy up, and Connie came slowly after her, hesitating in the rather dark kitchen where the kettle was boiling by the fire. Back came Mrs. Flint. I do hope you will excuse me," she said. "Will you come in here?" They went into the living room, where baby was sitting on the hearth rug, and the table was roughly set for tea. A young servant girl back down the passage, shy and awkward. The baby was a perky little thing of about a year, with red hair like its father and cheeky pale blue eyes. It was a girl, and not to be daunted. It sat among cushions and was rounded. So you have seen all my emotions. I try to control them as possible. I'm waiting for your comments. What do you think about such format of the video, and what do you think about my toy? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and see you in my next videos.